Hello students, welcome to BTech 360 and Career 360. If you are a student who is always wanted to study outside of India or you wanted to study abroad and because of the current geopolitical situation you're stuck, you might not have an admission, not an admission, this video would be very important for you. Because some time back I actually covered foreign universities setting up campus in India. And I did cover Illinois Institute of Technology yesterday, and a lot of students wanting us to cover each of the universities separately. So I'm covering Victoria University now. This is a university set up in 1916 as a college in about 110 years back and became a university in 1992. The reason we are covering this at this point in time is simple. Now it is UGC approved, which means the government of India has complete mandate to ensure that this university is operating from India campus or domiciled in India while giving a foreign degree. The quality of the degree is similar, the quality of study is similar, but you're getting it at Indian cost, which means you will be paying about 20-25% as compared to the total 100%. If you study outside, it's about $60,000-$70,000 going to be the fee. But when you study in India, the fee is about $10,000-$15,000. So that is the reason we're covering this. I'll talk to you about Victoria University at this point in time. As I told you yesterday, I covered Illinois Institute of Technology. Today, I'm going to talk about Victoria University. Now, while we're doing that, we also partnered with them. So if you want to talk to any of the Victoria University counselors, please send us a WhatsApp message on 8130376334. Send us a message Victoria, and one of our counselors will call you, explain to you whatever you need as information before you decide to even apply or not apply. But do send us a message if you're interested in getting into this particular university. And do subscribe to BTech 360 because we're creating a lot of content to help you decide your course, college pathways and all. If you want to get into a simple BTech and private engineering college, send us a message BTech on the same number, and we'll also have a BTech counselor call you up. You want to know more about Victoria, send us a message which is Victoria. Now about Victoria University, let me talk about why we are covering this, right? The first thing is when the government of India under NEP, which is National Education Policy 2020, when they decided to allow a certain kind of freedom and flexibility for foreign universities to set up campus in India, they made a set of regulations and conditions. And those regulations and conditions start bearing fruit since 2025 onwards because some of the foreign universities started expressing interest to set up campus in India. Why does India want that? Because they want to ensure that lesser number of students go out of India and you actually get exactly a foreign degree with the same quality and same experience coming into India at a far lesser price. The only thing that I have as a subjective question at this point in time is that the immersion is not complete because you are ultimately studying in India and you're not studying outside of India. But having said that, you're actually getting a foreign university degree sitting in India at 1/4 or 1/5 the price that you would do if you were to actually be studying outside of India. So the cost plays a massive role here because a lot of students can actually say that instead of if I'm studying in India, can I study in an Indian university or an Indian campus of a foreign university where the cost is almost 20% of what it would be otherwise? And most importantly, the credibility of the degree is so good that wherever you go at some point in time in terms of a global pathway, it is valid for you also. So one of the things is that, the government of India made a set of rule sets. What are the rules? The first one is that the core quality principle, which means that the quality of education that is imparted into the Indian campus is exactly the same as what it is imparted in the foreign campus, which means it's not a separate legal entity. It's ensuring that it's a part of the core, it's a off campus of the main university. The second thing is faculty quality control. The quality of faculty should be similar to what you have in the foreign campus, which means that the qualification of the faculty, the internationalization of the faculty should be similar of what you have in the home campus. The third thing is global reputation filter. This is extremely important. The government of India said that we'll only allow the top 500 universities to set up campus in India. The top 500 can be in the QS ranking, the TH ranking, or the ARW ranking, or at a subject-wise ranking. Just to put things in perspective, only one Indian private university is the top 500 global universities in the world, right? And from that perspective, the global reputation filter means that you're going to study in an Indian campus of a foreign university of the top 500 global universities that are wanting to set up campus in India. Then recognition and equivalence. Mostly till now, any foreign university that could not have set up campus in India because it was not UGC accredited nor recognized, which means that you might be studying in a foreign university, but the qualification is not valid in India. In this particular case, that degree is valid in India, while because of the international reputation, it's also valid outside of India also. Now, this is best of both the worlds in a certain sense. If you want a global pathway, this is the way to go because you're going to spend far lesser money while studying in India, while at some point in time for masters and all, you move up and then start studying there. UGC oversight is complete, which means that anything that goes wrong for you as a student, UGC steps in and actually has some kind of a control over the university that has set up campus in India. There's a lot of student protection measures in terms of escrow accounts, assuming the university has a problem. So many measures, and there is no backdoor entry. It is straight away approval process through the UGC, Ministry of Education, Government of India, and there is nothing which is fraudulent or anything like that. Everything is legitimate, approved by UGC, Ministry of Education, Government of India, and right from Prime Minister Modi down to the Education Minister to the UGC chairman, everyone is aligned into this conversation that we need to allow these universities to set up campus in India. Now, talking of Victoria University, we talked of Victoria University. Why do we talk about it now? Because on 14th of July or 10th of July last week, Australia's Victoria University gets UGC approval. So this week itself actually, the university actually formally got an approval from the UGC. Australia's Victoria University gets UGC approval for Gurugram campus to offer UG in data science, IT and MBA. So right now what's happening is these people have been approved this week itself to start operating the academic operations right away. And that is the reason why we're covering this at this point in time. Now, Victoria University has a different way of teaching. What they do is they first teach you one subject, move to the next subject. Like typically in an Indian context, what happens is you learn 3-4 subjects in a day, right? But in the case of Victoria, what they do is they actually do it as a block concept, which means you learn one subject, then move to the next one and the next one and the next one. They call it block 1, subject 1, 4-week workshop classes, continuous assessment, and then the second subject and the third subject and the fourth subject. They call it the block subject. What it does is it enables them to bring in a foreign professor to come to India, stay here for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, teach the subject and go away. Instead of taking a 1 or 2 hour session, say each day. And this block concept is a great experiment that's working all over the world, and quite a few universities are trying to adapt to that because that helps them to get the best expert faculty to come in, teach here, move to the next campus and next campus and next campus. That is what you call it the block model, and study one subject every 4 weeks or 2 subjects in 8 weeks in small interactive workshop style classes, never a large lecture hall. That's what you call the VU model or VU block model. And that is how Victoria's block model is dramatically different from how you learn in India in many of these colleges. Now about Victoria University, what it is. It was established in 1992. So we're talking of a university which is about 34-35 years old, right? Now the QS World Ranking is 696. Now you'll ask me a question that, you said that earlier it should be less than 500. But in other rankings it might be less than 500, or in the subject ranking it might be less than 500. Only then it will be permitted, because the Government of India set up a regulation which says that at a subject level or at any of the world university ranking should be in the top 500. So in QS we are giving it's 696, but in THE or ARW it might be less than 500. And the original country is Australia, so its main campus is in Australia. The total global campus that they have are 7 campuses, right? And the number of programs that they offer in those 7 campuses is 94, which is quite a bit, right? And the number of students that they have is 15,581, of which international is 3,500. So more than 20%, 20 to 23% of the students of Victoria University are international students. And that's very important, because the important thing, if you see here, none of these campuses that you have, the 7 campuses, are outside of Australia. So this is the first campus that's been set up outside of Australia. And within Australia, for the campus that they have, about 20 to 23% of the students are actually international students, which means students from India or all over the world actually go there and study. And now they're setting up a campus outside of Australia also. And recently when the Prime Minister went to Australia also, there was a lot of conversation about Victoria University also. Now, where is the campus in India? The campus in India is in Gurugram, which is in Delhi NCR. It's already opened. And I told you the permission that they got on 10th of July. Direct admission is what is happening. It's approved by UGC, and the total number of seats is only 140. Remember, the total students that they're enrolled is 15,500. But in India, less than 1% of the students are being recruited at this point in time. So we're talking of an exclusive club of students who go to join Victoria University for the Gurugram campus that is being set up now. And this is the building where it's working from. Now, before I talk about the fees, they also have very, very attractive scholarships, because about 6-7 universities got together and said we also need good scholarships. The reason why scholarships are important is the business model of any education ecosystem is to first get the best student, and because the best student is there, the best academics come in, and because the best student and faculty comes there, the best companies come for placement also. So it all starts, the cycle kicks off with the best student actually joining the institution. Now, to get the best student at this point in time, they actually have to offer scholarships. So they're going to do a very generous scholarships if you are a good candidate at any point in time. So the foreign universities are offering about 1,000 crore scholarship over the next 5 years. So Victoria also is a part of that group of universities which is setting up a scholarship fund. What are the programs that are being offered? Bachelor of Business, which is similar to BBA. It's a UG 3-year program. The fee is 33 lakh rupees and seats are 35. Bachelor of Information Technology, usually 3 years. The fee is 33 lakh rupees over the 3 years. And and mind you, before the scholarship, I am told that most of the students will get scholarship if you are very good in terms of merit and profile. Bachelor of Data Science, UG 3 years, 33 lakhs. Bachelor of Cyber Security, UG 3 years, 33 lakhs. So these are the 4 programs at undergrad level. At a postgrad level, you actually have a MBA and you also have a Master of Applied Information Technology. These are the fees 27 lakhs and here the seats are only 30. So 140 seats at undergrad level and 60 seats at the postgrad level. In all, we are dealing with 200 seats, right? And what is the eligibility that you have? Class 12, CBSE, ICSE, 65% minimum. State board should be 70% minimum. IB diploma should be 24 points minimum. And if you are a post-graduation, 55% in undergrad program is what you're looking at. But these are the 4 programs that you have, quite a bit of STEM, but for the BBA part of it. And here also, a BBA and MBA, a bit of STEM, a lot of STEM is what is there. Now, what is the thing? One of the reasons why, the foreign universities in India would be a good bet for those students who are looking at a global pathway is this, that, you actually get a transfer pathway if you want to. What it means is that if you don't want to, at some point in time, if you want to study outside of India, and in the current geopolitical situation, it might not be the right time, then what they would do is they will actually get into this foreign university campus in India, join this place, and after second year or third year, actually exit from the foreign university campus, where you also get all the benefits that are associated with the foreign students studying in those campuses. So let me talk of the global mobility, the 3 pathways that, to Melbourne what you have. One is the semester exchange program, where you study at VU Melbourne, which is the home campus, for up to 2 academic blocks, which is 10 weeks. Remain enrolled at VU India. So you're paying India, but you're actually studying in the foreign campus. Gain authentic Australian classroom and campus experience. Immerse in Melbourne's vibrant multicultural student life. Grades count fully towards VU India. So what you're doing is you're paying India fees, but studying there. That's the first thing, which is semester exchange program. The other thing is undergrad transfer. In this, complete your degree in Melbourne, Australia, which means that you actually study the first 1-2 years here, and third year you exit from there. Transfer to VU Melbourne after 1 or 2 years, that is your choice, of course. Complete remaining years of your degree in Australia. Access global industry exposure and graduation in Australia, which means you actually graduate from Australia. Graduate with an internationally conferred qualification, opens door to Australian post-study work visa permit. This is very, very important. Opens door to Australian post-study visa pathways. So instead of studying for all the 3 years there, you can study for 1 or 2 years here. So the cost also comes down. The third year you move to the transfer program, which is a undergrad transfer pathway program, and exit from Australia, where you actually become, you get all the benefits of a student who would otherwise graduate from Australia. The third thing, the postgrad progression, which is for the MBA and the Masters in Information Technology, merit-based Melbourne Masters pathway, advance from a VU India UG degree into PG at VU Melbourne. So you finish your undergrad here and move to postgrad there. It's merit-based pathway designed for high-achieving graduates. Access global research, industry and networking in Australia. Experience in the #1 student city in Australia. And professional and academic development on a global stage. So once you finish your undergrad program here, you move to the postgrad program there. And you automatically get some kind of an admission there and you move on from there. So that's the third pathway. Each of you as a student can deal with that. Here the cost is similar to what you pay in India, but you experience it outside. Here you actually get an international pathway where you exit from the third year from Melbourne and actually get all the post-study benefits for visa purposes and post-study work permits as are applicable there. Here, you after finish your undergrad here, you move to the post-graduation there. Now, what is the admission process? You apply, choose your program and apply online, gather documents, application assessment, and receive offer and accept. So once the application is done, they'll obviously reach out to you, you will have an interview and all, and then you will get an offer. And the offer would have the admission letter and the scholarship amount also. It is for you to decide whether it works for you or not works for you, and then you can accept or reject that. So at this point in time, going through the process is not big cost. It is for you to decide once you get the offer letter, and then consider it when you actually have all the offer letters and decide which one is better for you and then deal with it, right? Enroll and begin. The session starts in August 2026. Now, what are the advantages of Victoria University, right? One is award-winning VU block model, which I already explained to you, because the foreign faculty can come and teach here for the block and then go away, right? The only university in India delivering the VU block model, proven to raise pass rates to 94% in Australia. Small classes, 1 subject at a time, continuous assessment. Then recognized Australian degree, graduate with an Australian qualification identical to those awarded at VU Melbourne. Globally recognized because it's a globally recognized, globally ranked university, you actually have better global pathways in that sense. ACS accredited IT programs, IT and cyber security programs, accredited by the Australian Computer Science Society, a globally recognized quality mark for IT graduates sought by employers worldwide. So your qualification is ACS approved, which means that you have a global qualification which is also approved by worldwide employers. Now, earlier, if you recall, I actually told you that the university was established in 1992. That is correct. But the university itself was established actually in 1916 as a college. It became a university in 1992. Otherwise, the history of this institution is it was established in 1916 as a technical school and then became a university in 1992. So the thing is that it is 110 years old. It's not a young institution. It's got a great legacy going with it because the college was established in 1916. It became a university in 1992. So as a university, it's 36 years old, but as an institution, it is 110 years old. So it's got a great legacy going with it. So what we are trying to say is that, you actually have everything working in terms of transfer, pathways, global pathways, everything that's moving away, and the block study model that you have, a great legacy of the institution, a global degree that's coming to you while studying in India and while paying for in Indian fees. So all those things are working for you, and that is the reason why we are actually covering this. If you again, I repeat, if you want to talk to any of the counselors, please do message us on 8130376334. Message us Victoria, and one of our counselors from Victoria will call you up and talk to you. If you want any private admissions also, you can actually send a message BTech, or if you want any counseling for BTech also, you can message us on this number again. Type BTech and send it to you, and we'll be happy to cover have a counselor call you up and cover that for you. Do subscribe to BTech 360, and we're covering a lot of information to help you decide for yourself. And from that perspective, over the next 2 months, this might be the most important channel for you so that you are better informed in taking the best, most important decision of your life. Thank you so much. Namaste.